Welcome to a new era in professional bowling. Welcome to the inaugural season of the PBA League. 8 5-man teams featuring the world's best bowlers, with each team owned by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Chris Paul's LAX, Billie Jean King's New York City WTT Kingpins, Terrell Owens' Dallas Strikers, Kevin Hart's Philadelphia Hitmen, Jesse Williams' Brooklyn Styles, Jerome Bettis' Motown Muscle, Chris Hardwick's Silver Lake Adams Splitters, and Lamar Woodley's Pittsburgh Jackrabbits. Today, their new league kicks off here at Detroit's historic Thunder Bowl. Team versus team, with the goal of capturing the season-ending Elias Cup. Decades ago, teen bowling caught the nation's attention, making stars of the game's best players. Now the PBA is looking to recapture that magic with the new PBA League. 8 teams filled with all-stars, sporting team owners who bring their own sizzle to the mix. Welcome to Thunder Bowl Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, and welcome to a new era in PBA history. After a grueling week of qualifying, 5 of the 8 teams earned spots in the stepladder finals. The Dallas Strikers have the longest climb to glory, while the Brooklyn Styles find themselves perched above the rest as top seed. Hi everybody, Lon McCarron along with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And Randy, this format promises to be a lot of fun, but this team game also presents some factors that the pros have to be very aware of.
Lots of different factors because of this Baker-style format, Lon, that the players aren't really accustomed to. For example, in singles events, the players are used to bowling 10 frames, but in Baker, they're only going to get to bowl 2 frames. Also, a lot of strategy, especially when it comes to deciding on your lineup. Do you put your strength in terms of your roster at the top or at the bottom of the lineup? And also, a lot of pressure, peer pressure to be exact. Remember, there's 4 other players relying on you.
One of the goals of the league is to highlight its highlight players. Example number 1, the top-seeded team on today's show, the Brooklyn Styles, are led by the PBA Player of the Year, Sean Rash.
And Sean has got a lot of team experience, and it started with his experiences bowling for Wichita State. He's bowled a lot of team competition throughout the world, so it's no big surprise that Sean Rash's team is the top of the leaderboard. But from top to bottom on today's telecast, this event is laden with superstars, and every team is represented by at least one major championship winner.
The third member of our broadcast team is a PBA pro himself, our sideline reporter, JT Action Jackson. He caught up with one of the team owners.
We have Terrell Owens, the owner of the Dallas Strikers. So, Terrell, tell us, why do you like bowling so much?
Bowling is a very competitive sport. You can either compete against the lanes or you can have someone you compete against. And back in 96, 97, I was introduced to bowling through a charity event when I was playing with the 49ers by Norm Duke. And ironically, he's our captain for the Dallas Strikers.
So let me ask you this. So you feel very confident and comfortable with the team right now, right?
Well, absolutely. I think we're right where we need to be. We made a great push the other day to get to the 5th spot. Got in by 10 pins from being down by a big deficit. So right now we're looking good at the 5th spot, and we're going to try to ride that momentum.
So you're looking forward for today, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of great bowlers here today. Last night I was around here, and I saw a lot of talent. So right now it's going to be very, very competitive.
Well, good luck, Terrell.
1, 2,
The
3,
ceremonial first balls of the PBA League thrown out a moment ago. Terrell Owens and fellow owner Jerome Bettis. I give the nod to Terrell there, Randy.
Jerome, you can't get it that far right on a 50-foot oil pattern. I should have been down there helping Jerome.
Oh, the poor guys threw strikes in their practice ball. First match between the Adams Splitters and Dallas Strikers. Here's the lineup for Silver Lake. Franchise player Chris Barnes will lead off, followed by Stuart Williams, Nathan Board, Josh Blanchard, and Dom Barrett.
Are you going to mention the owner?
The owner, of course, Chris Hardwick.
He's the son of PBA Hall of Famer Billy Hardwick, the first player to ever win the Triple Crown on the PBA Tour.
Barnes to open the action here in match number 1. Not the way he wanted to get underway.
It's a nice break, though, Lon, avoiding the big split, only leaving the 4-pin. The last thing you want to do as a leadoff bowler in a Baker-style format is dig a hole early for your team.
Barnes trying to clean up on the left lane and does so, but just barely.
Another game, so. All
right, that's one down.
All right, so here's the Dallas striker lineup. Brian Smith, the leadoff, followed by Amleto Monticelli, Mike Machuga, Norm Duke, the franchise player, and Rhino Page, the man in the cleanup spot. Terrell Owens, the owner of this team. There is T.O., who loves this game, as you heard.
I think he's tweeting.
And he promotes the game as well. Brian Smith now for the Strikers from Roseburg, Oregon. One PBA title comes through with an opening strike for the Strikers.
Yeah, one PBA title, but it was a major. Brian Smith winning the USBC Masters.
Smith sits down, happy that he has done his job for now, bringing Stuart Williams of the Adams Splitters to the approach from Cheshire, England, 31 years old. His only PBA win came last season at the World Series of Bowling. Trying to pick up his franchise player Chris Barnes after an opening spare. That won't do it.
Oh, damn it.
Wow. All team members bowling on the same lane for the first 5 frames, and then the teams will switch sides.
Not a lot of back end on this extremely long oil pattern. Stewart's ball hydroplaning and leaving the bucket.
Williams has to be careful with this one. Yeah, that's what can happen.
And that's the trouble with the 2-4-5-8 is that back pin, the A pin, and Stewart whiffs it a little bit to the right and leaves the 8.
All right, here's how the Baker format works.
Well, you got 5 bowlers on each team, and like I said in the open, they'll each bowl 2 frames. The anchor bowler gets to bowl the 5th and 10th frame. The teams will switch lanes after 5 frames.
Strikers now with a huge opening after the 9 count from Williams, and the Adams Splitters. Amleto Monticelli from Venezuela, PBA Hall of Famer. Only international member of the Hall of Fame. Monticelli with the double for the Strikers.
At 53 years of age, he's probably in better shape than any of the players sitting on both benches, and that's why Amleto's still able to do it. Just kept himself in great shape for so many years and was so competitive for so long out here and is still competitive out on the big tour.
So the Strikers with the early advantage. For the Adams Splitters, this is Nathan Bohr. Bowled at Wichita State, as did his franchise player Chris Barnes. Wow, these guys are having trouble on that lane. The big 4 left by Bohr.
Nobody's even come close to the pocket for the Adams Splitters, and this is just trouble personified after the open frame by Stuart Williams. He goes through the nose, leaving the big 4.
Okay, thanks.
And the only time, the one and only time the big 4 has ever been made on television was made by a guy by the name of Walter Ray Williams Jr., 2005, and just outside of it, Atlanta.
So Bohr trying to make a little history.
I will.
Yeah, getting some advice from his teammates.
Yeah, here's the advice. Throw it really hard at the 6-10 or the 4-7 and hope something bounces out.
And here it comes to avoid back-to-back open frames. He got it to kick. Well, that was nicely done.
I'm not sure that's the way he tried to make that. He caught the 4-pin really skinny. It goes to the sidewall and then throws the 7 across at the 6-10, but needed a little more velocity to have a chance at making that.
Maybe that's how folks back at their home centers are going to start working on that.
Well, when Walter Ray made it, he bounced it out of the pit and got a back door.
Yeah, saw that. All right, here's Mike Machuga. Dallas Strikers working on a double. make it 3 in a row.
Well, Dallas Strikers taking advantage of some extra life. They got the 5th and final qualifying spot on the step ladder by just 10 pins over LAX, and now looking to capitalize on some open frames early.
3 other teams that did not make it: LAX, owned by Chris Paul; Philadelphia Hitmen, owned by Kevin Hart; and the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers player Lamar Woodley. Josh Blanchard for the Atom Splitters. And really the only good news right now, Randy, for the Atom Splitters is that for the back 5 frames, the Strikers will have to throw on this lane.
Yeah, they'll flip-flop lanes after 5, but you know, I'd rather be in the lead and have a big lead when going over to that other left lane and take my chances. It's hard to dig yourself out of a hole.
Blanchard, another star at Wichita State. Former PBA Rookie of the Year, like his franchise player Chris Barnes, picks up the spare. So the Strikers find themselves on top by 47 as their franchise player Norm Duke takes to the lane.
Norm Duke looking to keep that gravy train with biscuit wheels rolling right here with another strike.
2-time world champ, 2-time player of the year, holds the career grand slam. Can Norm Duke make it a 4-bagger? Yes, he can.
Yeah, don't kid yourself. This team event is nothing like what you may have seen in past summer series. It's a lot on the line for these players, and they're taking it extremely serious. As you can see, the react by Norm Duke takes some of that. And how about it, man, when you have Terrell Owens on the sidelines for your team, that's got to be some serious extra motivation.
And look where Norm's got to go to get the high five to the owner. I'll bear it now. Oh, almost got that kick on the 10-pin. Nothing going right for the Atom Splitters.
Excuse me, Lon. Silver Lake still looking for their first strike. 2 open frames, missed bucket, big 4 back-to-back, and they're in a huge hole right now, down 58 pins.
Barrett converts. You know, Dallas franchise player Norm Duke had the first pick in the PBA League draft and surprised many by selecting lefty Rhino Page.
It was certainly an honor when you get somebody like Norm, who's somebody I looked up to my entire life, to say, hey, Rhino, I want you on my team. And you know, it just so happened he was the first pick, so to be the first overall pick, it's kind of cool.
I know that surprised a lot of players, especially when you saw the name of Mika Koivuniemi, who a lot regard as one of the top 3 players on this tour.
Rhino Page comes through, the 5th in the row for the Dallas Strikers, and they hold a 68-pin advantage. More to come from Thunder Bowl lanes. Round number 1 of the PBA League. The Silver Lake Atom Splitters taking on the Dallas Strikers.